There is a specific type of person you envy. The market crashes, and while you are spiraling, they are buying. A project falls apart at work, and while you are hyperventilating in the bathroom, they are already sketching a new plan on a napkin. The world catches fire, and they don't just survive the flames, they use the heat to forge something stronger. We call these people lucky. We say they have thick skin. We assume they were born without the ability to feel fear. We are wrong. They feel the fear. They just process it through a completely different operating system than you do. While you are trying to build a fortress to keep chaos out, they have built a windmill to harness the storm. If you are tired of being the person who freezes when life gets hard, you need to stop looking for safety and start looking for the code to rewrite your brain. Today, we are analyzing the hidden logic of chaos thrivers. We are going to teach you how to stop surviving discomfort and start feeding on it. The illusion of stability, why safety creates anxiety. Let's start with the lie that is making you anxious, the lie of stability. Our brains are evolutionarily wired for homeostasis. We crave a consistent temperature, consistent food, and consistent safety. To a caveman, change meant a predator. It meant death. So your brain views unpredictability as a threat. You spend your entire adult life trying to curate a perfectly predictable routine. You think, if I can just organize everything perfectly, I will finally be calm. But the modern world is inherently volatile. By clinging to the idea that things should go according to plan, you are fighting reality. The people who thrive in chaos have accepted a different baseline. They understand that entropy disorder is the natural state of the universe. They don't waste energy being shocked when things go wrong. They expect it. And because they expect it, they aren't paralyzed by it. The chaos advantage, from threat to puzzle. So how do we switch our brains from panic mode to thrive mode? It starts with cognitive reframing. When a chaotic event happens, you get fired, you get dumped. The car breaks down, your amygdala lights up. It labels the event as a threat. The thrivers consciously flip a switch. They relabel the event from threat to puzzle. This isn't just positive thinking. It changes your neurochemistry. A threat triggers cortisol, the stress hormone that shuts down your critical thinking. A puzzle triggers dopamine. It engages your curiosity. When you look at a crisis and ask, how do I solve this level? Instead of, why is this happening to me? You move from a victim mindset to a player mindset. The discomfort becomes part of the game. Becoming anti-fragile. This brings us to the most powerful concept in this script, anti-fragility. If I drop this glass vase, it breaks. It is fragile. If I drop a rock, it stays the same. It is resilient. But what is the opposite of fragile? Most people say strong. But strong just means you don't break. The opposite of fragile is something that gets better when you drop it. Muscles are anti-fragile. You have to tear them, chaos, for them to grow back stronger. The immune system is anti-fragile. It needs exposure to threats to learn. People who thrive in chaos view themselves as anti-fragile. They know that order creates comfort, but disorder creates growth. They don't just endure the storm. They ask, how can this storm make me better than I was before? They use a technique called the pre-mortem. Instead of hoping for the best, they visualize the worst-case scenario before it happens. They make friends with the chaos in their imagination, so when it arrives in reality, they are already inoculated against the shock. Emotional agility, navigating the storm within. Now let's talk about feelings. There is a misconception that thriving in chaos means being an unfeeling robot. That is false. Suppressing emotions is like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. Eventually, it pops up and hits you in the face. The people who excel in high-pressure environments, doctors, firefighters, elite traders, practice emotional agility. They don't ignore the fear. They process it. They have emotional granularity. Instead of just feeling bad, they identify, I am feeling overwhelmed because I lack information. By naming the emotion, they tame it. They create a tiny gap between the feeling and the action. In that gap, they use their resilience toolkit. This might be a breathing technique to lower heart rate, or a mantra like, control the controllable. They practice realistic optimism. This isn't toxic positivity. Everything is great. It is the belief, this situation sucks, but I have the skills to figure it out. The growth catalyst. Why should you want to be in chaos? Because comfort is a slow death for the brain. Neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to rewire itself, triggers most effectively during periods of high focus and agitation. When you are comfortable, you are on autopilot. You aren't learning. When you are struggling, when you are failing, when you are confused, that is the chemical trigger for growth. History is filled with post-traumatic growth. Companies like Airbnb were born out of the chaos of the 2008 financial crisis. Isaac Newton developed calculus while quarantined during the Great Plague. Chaos breaks your old patterns. It forces you to innovate because the old ways stop working. If you are currently in a chaotic season of life, view it as a forced upgrade. You are in the boot camp for your next level of self, your thriving blueprint. So how do we build this muscle? You don't wait for a disaster, you train for it. Here is your thriving blueprint. Step 1. Practice voluntary discomfort. If your life is too comfortable, your tolerance for chaos shrinks. You need to artificially inject small doses of stress. Take cold showers. Fast for 16 hours. Have that awkward conversation you've been avoiding. You are teaching your amygdala. See, we were uncomfortable, and we didn't die. You are widening your window of tolerance. Step 2, the what-if reversal. Anxiety asks, what if it goes wrong? Train yourself to ask the opposite. What if this disruption is exactly what I needed? Step 3, the golden question. The next time you are in the middle of absolute chaos, stop, take a breath, and ask yourself this one question. What does this situation make possible? Not, what did I lose? But what is now possible that wasn't possible before? Here is my challenge to you. Do not just watch this video, nod your head, and go back to your safe, comfortable bubble. That is what fragile people do. I want you to pick one thing that scares you today. One phone call you've been avoiding. One project you've been putting off. One messy situation you've been ignoring. Go do it. Walk directly into the fire. And when you feel that heart rate spike, I want you to smile and say, I am built for this. If you are ready to stop being fragile and start being unstoppable, type I am anti-fragile in the comments below. Let's see who is actually ready to do the work. Subscribe to Psychology every day if you want to master your mind. Now go make some chaos